Yeah, it's just gonna be one of those days. Hi there. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. And stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. It's just, good Lord, it's one of those days. I'm sure people are rolling, but I'm just gonna start with some news, and we're gonna go through some things that make you go, you know, I just need a cup of the reparations coffee. Tasted mighty fine today. Let's get into it as people are rolling in. First, it's one of those days where I'm looking through what's happening in the news, and I'm just like, really? Come on, man. Come on. So, first, let's just really, some news about former President Jimmy Carter, whether you like him or not. I think he's generally a good dude post-presidency, as far as his work with Habitat for Humanity and just his, he's lived his life as a post-president in a good way. Kind of stays out of politics for the most part. Not always, but for the most part. And so it's not hard for me to respect what he does, especially with his work with Habitat for Humanity. He's in his 90s and he's still out there building homes. And unfortunately, former President Jimmy Carter suffers a pelvic fracture after falling in Georgia home. Now, here, let's just go through this. Former President Jimmy Carter suffered a pelvic fracture Monday after a fall at his home in Plains, Georgia. Carter was taken to the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia, for observation and treatment, according to the Carter Center, the 39th President's Human Rights Advocacy Organization. He is in good spirits and looks forward to recovering at home, the organization wrote in a tweet. Tuesday. The incident is the latest in a string of falls for Carter, who at 95 is the oldest living former president. After each incident, Carter has managed to return to some of his normal routines, such as teaching Sunday school and doing charity work. While on his way from church to lunch on October 6th, Carter fell and hit his forehead on a sharp edge in his home. The fall required 14 stitches and left him with a bruised left eye. Days after the fall, Carter was in Nashville, Tennessee, assisting building homes for Habitat for Humanity. And then former president broke his hip during a fall in his home in May, just prior to a turkey hunting trip. He was released days later, saying that at the time he planned to teach Sunday school that weekend. So anyway, wishing former President Carter a quick recovery. Now, and a broken hip at 95 is a tough damn deal. I mean, a lot of people just from the other complications, don't make it, but he's gone through it before. I wish him a healthy recovery, whatever. He also had in August 2015, had a lump removed from his liver, later revealed that month he had melanoma in his brain and liver. However, Carter announced in December 2015, after a month of treatments, that his scans showed no more signs of cancer. So this is a resilient person. He's and again, I was never a fan of his politics, and I lived through his presidency, and the nation survived it. But yeah, in general, I think he's a good person. So good luck to President Carter and a healthy, quick recovery. All right, now let's start. Now, before I even move on, I'm going to say good morning, everybody, because I may be ranting, and I don't know if I'm going to even see the chat today. Oh, what the hell did I just do there? Okay, I don't even know if I'll even see the chat today, so let's just say good morning to everybody who's already here. Let's click that as people are slowly rolling in. Pincalo got here first. You get the bell, sir. Thank you for being here. Circa 0 second. Shiagrath, good morning. C. Thomas, Corbin, my friend. Thank you for joining us this morning. And good morning, Sarah, Duck Dog, Irish Rose, Rolling Bear, D.I. Freighter, Maddie, Tara, Marine, wow, Max Del Rio. Everyone's rolling in right now, so that's good. That's who we got so far in the chat, and a couple lurkers out there. Hey, I'm glad you are here. So, let's get into the news. I couldn't even decide which one to put on my thumbnail, so it's just a day of all full of I just can'ts. Who do we start with? How about, let's see, we did Jimmy Carter already. Let's see, we're done with that. Okay, here's, oh man. Someone sent me this one, and I let's see, let me check real quick. Someone sent me this. Dr. No sent me this one, and it's all over the news right now. Here, let me pop this one up real quick. I'll use the Daily Wire, but thank you, Dr. No, if you happen to see this later or show up. So, in Texas, of all places, a jury has ruled against a dad fighting 7-year-old son's gender transition. Yep, you heard it right. Now granted, they're not going to officially do like physical transition at this point. But if you're not familiar, looks like Twitter's down. Huh, that's weird. On Monday, a jury ruled against a Texas father, Jeffrey Younger, attempting to stop his 7-year-old son from a gender transition being facilitated by Dr. Ann Jorgulis, the boy's mother and Younger's ex-wife. With a consensus of 11 of the 12 jurors, the jury decided not to grant Mr. Younger sole managing conservatorship over his 2 twin boys. LifeSite News reported Monday. They voted that the current joint managing conservatorship should be replaced by a sole managing conservatorship, but that Mr. Younger would not be that person. According to LifeSite News, Gorgeous has been granted authority to move forward with puberty blockers, which can cause chemical castration and potentially hormones if she so chooses. According to the reporting from the Texan, in fact, I'll open the Texan. I'm shocked that this isn't making national news. Gorgulis' lawyers, Jessica Janicek and Laura Hayes, said the mother does not plan on giving James hormone blockers at this time. Well, that's good. However, no one has stated that she, Gorgulis, would not be open to using them when James begins puberty, which would be around age 11 and a half for a boy, the report said. Additionally, with the jury's decision, Mr. Younger will likely be forced to affirm his son's new gender identity, a girl named Luna. Now, if you're not familiar with this case, I've been kind of following this case loosely. And so here's the deal. So there are twin boys. The parents are obviously separated or divorced or whatever. I'm not completely sure which. When apparently one of the boys, when he lives with his mother, the mother dresses him in girls' clothing and gave him the name Luna. And so he's a girl when he's with his mother. But when he's with his father, he is a boy, doesn't claim to want to be a boy. He basically does whatever parent whatever the parent he's with, he basically goes by their wishes. So, but he does when he's with the father he goes by his own name, doesn't ask to be called a different name, and he and his twin brother are just fine being boys together. Plays with normal, just whatever he does. He's a boy when he's dad, and he's a girl with mom. Mom puts him in dresses, and so I'm pretty sure that well, somehow mom, this is her part of her profession, somewhere along the line decided that James is a girl named Luna. And so it's confusing for his twin brother. And apparently the boy goes along with it. And when she makes him go to school, I'm having trouble even the whole pronoun thing here. Even I mean, it's a boy, right? At father's house, and it's a girl. See why I'm having this is not the only one that has me like this day. Okay. Anyway, additionally, with the jury's decision, Mr. Young will likely be forced to affirm his son's new gender, a girl named Luna. I want you to imagine having electronic communication with your son on FaceTime. And imagine that your ex-wife has dressed him as a drag queen to talk to you, Younger told host Luke Macias during an episode of the Luke Macias Show podcast in January. He has false eyelashes and makeup. His hair has got glitter in it. He's wearing a dress. Now imagine how you would feel seeing what I believe is actual sexual abuse. I believe this is not just emotional abuse, but it is the very most fundamental form of sexual abuse, tampering with the sexual identity of a vulnerable boy, the father continues. So this is the father's This is the father's side of the story. As reported by the Daily Wire in November, court documents show that the younger son only dresses as a girl when he's with his mother, who calls the boy by his trans name and even enrolled James as Luna in school. According to Younger, however, James consistently chooses to wear boys' clothes, violently refuses to wear girls' clothes at my home, and identifies as a boy whenever he is around him. James' mother has accused Younger of child abuse in their divorce proceedings for not affirming James as transgender, and is looking to strip the dad of his parental rights, reported the Federalist. Gorgulis is also seeking to force Younger to foot the bill for James' visit to a transgender-affirming therapist and transgender medical alterations, which may include chemical castration 2 years from now, when the child is just 8. Okay, that was from when he was 6. The boy, according to Younger, oh, crap, what the hell happened there? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. All right, there we go. The boy, come on, stop putting this shit on my screen. The boy, according to Younger, has already been fully socially transitioned, quote unquote. James wears a dress at her home. He has a new made-up name, Luna. It appears in the court filings. He goes to school. The teachers call him Luna. He uses the girls' bathrooms at school. All of his authority figures, his mother, his teacher, the librarian at school, the police officer at the school, the principal of the school, tells him he's a girl. I'm the only authority figure in his life that tells him the truth that he's actually a boy, Younger noted during the podcast. The father noted that, in his opinion, he witnessed that his wife was only giving James love and affection when he was acting like a girl. She used to lock James in his room and tell him monsters only eat boys, Younger added. Great. I'm sure his twin brother is thrilled with that. Yeah, he has a twin brother. Every single day, you have to see your son sexually abused, and you have to maintain your calm, the Texas father continued, because the courts are not going to be fair to you. And the only way you can survive this and get your son through this alive is to calmly allow your son to be tortured right before your eyes and outlast the opposition. That's what it's like. They're asking me to affirm a delusion, he said. So we get into the Texans story. By the way, have I mentioned yet today that Donald Trump is a jackass? But he's the best jackass, and he knows he's a jackass. Everyone knows he's a jackass. His opponents knows he's a jackass. The people who like him knows he's a jackass. And okay, we'll get to that in a minute because, okay, that's a whole nother story. Hearing in custody battle over alleged transgender 7-year-old will resume next week. This was from October 18th. A Dallas jury will determine whether or not a 7-year-old boy, James Younger, is raised as a girl or as his biological sex in a potentially monumental court case. So here are the twin boys. James is the one on the right, or Luna, however you would decide. Oh my God. Oh, here we go. Here's the breaking story. Okay, this is the story I was looking for. Dallas jury grants mother sole custody of purported transgender child. A jury decided to give sole managing conservatorship of 7-year-old James Younger to his mother, who contends he is transgender. C. Thomas, thank you, sir, for the $2 super chat. By the way, I didn't even finish my shilling. Here, just before I read that, you guys sponsored the Morning Light Live. Please share. Use that share arrow or Twitter. I tweet that out to those of you who saw that on Twitter. Also, my Twitter handle right down here at PDogKnight. Also, hit the like button if you like what I'm doing, or if you don't like what I'm doing, hit the like button, or hit the don't like button. Hit something, click something, comment later down in the comment section. And if you'd like to do super chats and make sure I read something you say out loud, there is always the Streamlabs link in the description down below. This ruling needs to be overturned. Excuse me, I only have one eye working today. This ruling needs to be overturned and the mother in prison for child abuse. This whole nonsense is child abuse, and I agree with you, it's sexual abuse, or agree that it's sexual abuse. This forcing kids to be trannies is fucking disgusting, and all who force it on kids need to be shot. Well, shot is a little bit of extreme remedy. However, I just don't get it. I mean, here's my... I'm trying so hard to be sensitive and be understanding with the whole transgender, what do you call it, a trend? I don't want to call it a fad, although it's almost becoming a fad with some people. There are genuinely people out there who have this thing in their head that there's something other than what their body is, whatever gender dysphoria. I get that, and that's important to, at least have some sort of empathy, sympathy, whatever you want to call it, for these people. That's not my problem here. My problem is it's becoming to a point where, because we all need to be special, and we all have this, this important, all of a sudden, the best way to be special is to be either some sort of victim or something really different and unique. And so the hardest part for me with the whole thing about this whole movement to recognize transgender people and have to change everything else for everybody else to accommodate, to accommodate them, change your language, change how you see things, change your mind, is I don't know the rules. Okay? Because if the idea is that gender is a social construct, and someone can help me with this. There's people, I know transgender people, I probably could ask them. But if gender is a social construct, okay, then, and so the idea of that there's two genders is just a social construct, and that we can have all these other genders and stuff, then what's the point? What's the point of even having gender at all? Let's just stick with sex then, because sex is, I don't want to use the word binary. Sex has an empirical definition, okay? Granted, there are a very few exceptions, but there is an empirical way to determine sex. You're not assigned gender at birth. The doctors determine what sex you are based on observation and empirical data. Okay? Generally, 99.7% of the time, observation is correct because your genitalia generally tells you whether you are male or female. But now we want to change the definitions of boys and girls based on what? What are the rules? Okay, because if okay, so you are something else because you feel like you're something else. Well, what does that feel like? What is it? Aren't you, when you say someone who is born male feels like they are a girl, what does that mean? Does that mean you're just perpetuating a different gender stereotype? Because that's really what it is. Because you wear different clothing, you want to wear different clothing? So this boy, obviously, this child, I'll say, even though, obviously, well, never mind. I'm trying to be sensitive. Me, try to always try to be the sensitive type. This child clearly seems to be wanting to please whichever parent the child is with at any given time. Now, the mother is just full out insisting that this child wants to be a girl. And now, as I've read other things about this case, the father does have at his home girls' clothes that the boy can wear, or the child can wear. The boy. I'm gonna just go on a limb and say a boy because it's at his home. He's a boy at his home. He has girls' clothes at his home, but the boy refuses to wear them at his home. Now, is the father purposely influencing that? We don't know. I don't know. I'm going to read this article in a minute here. But I don't know. And then when the boy is at the mother's home, is she influencing the clothes the child wears? Is she the one forcing the child to be Luna? It's crazy. It's just crazy. I can't. I don't. I want to have this conversation with someone. I probably should have this conversation with someone who's transgender. Because the question I always come up with is, well, if you're not if you want to be a gender that's different from your physiological sex, what does that mean to you? What does it mean to be? So, for some people, it is just adhering to the binary sexual stereotypes because you say, well, I'm not this physiological sex. I'm actually the other gender that normally is associated with that physiological sex. So I'm trying. It's not that I'm not trying to be insensitive. I just want to understand it, and maybe it's just because I don't understand it, and maybe I'll never understand it. But I don't know if even the people who feel that way understand it, because that's, if it's a social construct, again, all, and the people who say, there's all these other genders, there's multiple genders, there's an infinite number of genders. Okay, so you say gender is a social construct. So are you just trying to create a new social construct of multiple genders that have nothing to do with physiological sex? I mean, if a social construct is wrong when you're saying there's a binary gender based on physiological traits of male and female, well, are you just creating another irrelevant social construct? Are all social constructs irrelevant? Because that social construct has been common in societies throughout the world. Yes, there have been some societies who maybe say there's a third gender, that the two-spirit, for example. But again, my theory is that two-spirit was just some chief way back when who was embarrassed that their son was gay, which is unfortunate. And so they said, oh no, he doesn't like men. He's just two-spirit. He has something two-spirit in him. Made something up and it stuck, and everyone tribe after that decided that was a great way to explain it. Thank you, C. Thomas, with the next super chat of $2. Remember, super chats are available in the Streamlabs link down below. From the Streamlabs link, $2. Thank you, C. Thomas. Personally, I find the trans trend pure mentally ill nonsense. Sorry, my quotes here. And these trannyphilic nutters trying to raise kids to be this kind of mentally ill is abhorrent. I'm sorry. And needs to be punished. Kids don't know or understand their own physiology. That's just it. You're telling me that okay, I get your point there, C. Thomas. I'm sorry, I only have one contact in. I have a problem with my right eye, so I'm having a hard time reading anything. And these kids don't know anything. I don't know. You know what? Get some glasses. I know I broke my glasses. Oh no, my glasses. I didn't break them. Remember that backpack I had stolen in San Francisco? That's where my glasses are. And so I actually have to go get an eye exam before I can get new glasses, and so on and so on. I can just do that. I can read with one eye. Anyway, so yeah, kids don't know anything. Remember how kids and humans' frontal brain doesn't really work completely until humans are about 25 years old, and so you're saying a 7-year-old can determine a sexual sociological dynamic before their brain even really works, before they even understand what it is? It's like, they're kids who think they're a bunny. Okay? But you tell them they're not a bunny, right? Or you just let that phase go through, right? And I see you straightening it. It's bad for your eyes. I know it's bad for my eyes. I'll put my other contact in later. And then you're making a decision prior to them going through puberty that will affect the rest of their life, not knowing if puberty might have them change. Remember how you go through puberty and a whole lot of things change about you, and you kind of it. Puberty messes people up, but it also changes a lot of things. It used to. I don't like bringing up the example of tomboys, but I know some of the girls that were tomboys that were always playing with the boys, always roughhousing and whatever when we were little kids. And once one of them I can just think of the one girl off the top of my head who, once she'd gone through puberty, all of a sudden she was girly girl, hottest girl in school. So how do you just, and she's happily married now, and all that. But she was total tomboy when we were little kids. So how can you make these decisions for something so fundamental that's very likely easily changed? In fact, a lot of people who have interesting. This is so difficult. I'm telling you, a lot of people are into one thing when they're this age, and then 2 years later they're totally into something else, or totally have a complete change in what they want to do. But you're deciding this for a 7-year-old. Makes no sense at all. Let me get back into this article. You heard of people who can't agree the sky is blue. These parents can't even agree if their child is a boy or a girl, said Logan Ordinal, the lawyer for Jeff Younger, in his concluding remarks for the jury in a drawn-out custody battle. For the past week, jurors have been sitting through a family court trial between Younger and Ann Gorgulis, who argued over whether their 7-year-old son James has gender dysphoria, and if so, whether they should show their parental love for him by taking an approach of affirmation or one of watchful waiting. Real quick, Pancalo with the $2 super chat. The 5-year-old identifies as as Hiccup, How to Train Your Dragon. We're not going to be dragon riding Vikings, as awesome as that would be, because it's a fucking imagination, you twat nuggets. Yeah. Oh my god. Because dragons aren't real, right? Thank you, Picala, for the $2 super chat via Streamlabs in the link down below. Today, the jury decided to give sole managing conservatorship of the parents' 2 twin sons to Gorgulis, the pediatrician who contended that James is transgender and should be affirmed by allowing him to wear dresses and taking him to school as a girl named Luna. Younger contended that James is not transgender and is happy being a boy, and that social transition or subsequent medical transition would not be in his best interest. The mother filed a request with the court to modify their joint managing conservatorship by requiring Jeff to follow the recommendation of therapists to affirm James by calling him by the name Luna. Yeah, the therapist sees shows. And the other thing is it's funny because just like you can doctor shop to get your prescription for that OxyContin, you could certainly doctor shop, and it's becoming a specialty to diagnose people with gender dysphoria and affirm someone's gender dysphoria, and it's clearly at certain young ages. I don't know how there is a doctor on the planet that can say a child's sense of self can be affirmed at that age. Again, like Piccolo said, yeah, the 5-year-old that identifies as Hiccup. Okay, okay, I'll let you wear a child that identifies as Woody from Toy Story. Okay, I'm gonna let you wear a cowboy outfit to school for the next 2 months. But now, here's the problem, though. We've gone so deep into this that we force teachers aren't allowed to say anything. The one teacher who got fired because the person who transitioned during his class, he accidentally called he, her, or her, he, or whatever. The teachers are forced into this. It's insanity. I don't get it. Younger's witness in the trial, while not having met James, were medical professions who pointed out the dangers of social transition and medical transition and the medical transition it usually leads to. The latter transition includes puberty suppression, administration of cross-sex hormones, and ultimately surgical removal of reproductive organs. At the end of the hearing, as the jury was given the charge to answer one or two questions on the basis of what is in the best interest of the children in the case, James and Jude. Yeah, he has a twin brother, and the twin brother has to watch this too. I mean, you're fucking with two kids' heads. First, did they think that the current joint managing conservatorship should change to a sole managing conservatorship? Second, if they said yes to the first question, did they think Younger should be the sole managing conservator? Which is tough in these cases, Anyway, because generally men aren't thought of as an important role in custody cases, unless there's some egregious misdeeds by the mother, which personally in this case you could make that argument. The third amicus attorney appointed by the court to give a more neutral perspective asked the judge and jury for a different outcome. Contending that both parents loved James, as acknowledged by everyone who interviewed both Younger and Gorgulis, he asked the jury to choose for the parents to remain joint managing conservators. So this is the neutral attorney, and leave the rights and duties of that custody agreement for the judge to rule on in a way that would address the concerns of the father. Ultimately, the jury of Texans, shocking. This is what really it amazes me. This happened in Texas. Maybe they're in Austin. I don't know. The jury of Texans decided to say yes to the first question and no to the second, effectively making Gorgulis the sole managing conservator. The judge is the judge hasn't. Okay, the judge is expected to make a final verdict on the details of the new arrangement of the conservatorship on Wednesday. Okay, that'll be interesting. Benjamin Alberton, who compiled a report for the court on the case, had advocated for the affirmation approach, but have recommended the court to prohibit Gorgulis from initiating a medical transition without approval from Younger. Oh boy. Anyway. In the verdict on Wednesday, the judge could include Alberton's recommendation and maintain an agreement similar to this current one. Younger could appeal the jury's decision, but it would be an expensive and time-consuming endeavor that might take a year. By that time, Younger is concerned that James could begin puberty and begin being treated with puberty blockers. Oh boy. That's such a tough case, man. It just seems insane to me. Wow. All right, real quick, before we move on, let's see, who haven't I said hello to? Holy smokes, there's a lot of chat going on in here. Shia Grath, I see you're here. Oh gosh, wow, holy crap, you guys have been all over it. Hello, Sarah. I think I said hi. Tara Marine, Max Del Rio. How you doing? Cynical Lindsay. Let's see. Who else I said hi to? Okay, now there's repeating. Evil One. How you doing? Chicago Mike. Green Thunder. Demighty. Okay, it's, you know what, Zombie Teddy, there's a Maniac Man, how you doing? There's a bunch of people, I can barely read this thing because my contact. Irish Rose, how you doing? Hey, One Eye Works Functional, hi there. Okay, I'm just going, RJ Bandsman, how you doing, RJ? And I think I got everybody. If I haven't, just keep chatting away, I'll catch on. Chi-Town J, how you doing? I will catch up and figure out who's here. Fatty 057, good morning. I had an F-250. Oh, okay. You know, I'm that. Yes, it's a funny joke, but it's getting old. Come on, there's got to be something more creative. uh, you know, I just, again, I want clarification. I want clarification. Stop being blind. There you go. Marty is transitioning into drunkle. Oh, I'd rather be drunk right now. Hey, speaking of the transgender issue, here's something from Real Clear Politics that kind of fits with the theme today. Well, not necessarily the theme of transgender, but welcome to the pronoun primary. 2020 Dems are talking gender identity. Oh, yippee. It was an awkward lesson in the new progressive grammar of the left. Senator Kamala Harris walked on stage at the LGBTQ town hall hosted by the Human Rights Campaign and made an introduction. "Thank you, guys," the California Democrat told the audience. "My pronouns are she, hers, and her and hers." Okay, Kamala, like we didn't already know that. That's when the crowd went wild and when Chris Cuomo stepped in it. And not in, but stepped in it, right? Stepped in it. "Mine too," the CNN host joked. Yes, she definitely stepped in it. The crowd did not like it. Neither did Harris, who replied curtly, "All right." But that wasn't the end for Cuomo. Progressive outrage poured down on Twitter, and he was forced to issue an apology a day later. "Please read," Cuomo wrote. "When Senator Harris said her pronouns were she, her, and hers, I said mine too." Oh, hold on. This is one that you got to have sad music for, isn't it? Let me see if I can find some sad music, and I'm going to start this one over because this one definitely needs sad music. Let's see. Give me a moment. I'll find some sad music here. Let's see. I'm just going to make noises while we're here. Let's see. Let's go with drama. Let's see the drama category here. Looking for sad. Oh, here we go. Oh, a little loud. Turn that down. Does that sound sad? That's kind of sad. All right, here we go. Chris Cuomo tweeted, "Please read. When Senator Harris said her pronouns were she, her, and hers, I said mine too. I should not have. I apologize. I am an ally of the LGBTQ community, and I am sorry because I am committed to helping us achieve equality. Thank you for watching our town hall." Thank you, Chris Cuomo, for being such an ally. But I have a question, Chris Cuomo. You said, "I am an ally of the LGBTQ community, and, quote, I am sorry because I am committed to helping us achieve equality." Chris, I have a question. What do you mean by helping us achieve equality? Just saying. Fredo, please. The problem, some would argue, was that Cuomo is a white straight man. I'm sorry, they got that incorrect. He's a straight white man. Okay, let's get it right. A cis straight white man. Not just a white straight man. He's a cis straight white man. Let's get it in the right order. Just saying. His preferred pronouns. Stop with the preferred pronouns because that's not correct either. You can't say your preferred pronouns. They're not the pronouns you prefer. They're my pronouns, whatever. Are not feminine. They are masculine, he, him, his. A lower classification on the ziggurat of the left's protected classes. By casually cracking a joke, Cuomo had come dangerously close to bigotry. Even homophobia. A serious offense for a journalist covering what could become the presidential primary of gender identity. Like the prerequisite to support same-sex marriage in 2016, Democratic candidates seeking the nomination in 2020 are now expected to embrace liberal gender theory and the corresponding inclusive pronouns. But first, a grammar lesson from the updated textbook of sexual orientation and identity. He is the masculine third person, singular personal pronouns that attaches to Cuomo. But if Cuomo were not they did it again, white straight male. No, it's straight white male. Let's get those words in order. If he were not a straight white male, if he were a member of, say, the transgender or genderqueer community, he could choose an entirely different set of pronouns. C. Thomas with the $1 super chat. LGBTQ, liberty, guns, beer, tits, quesadillas is far, far better. Far, far better than the old LGBTQ. And fucking Fredo always has to say dumb shit. Yeah, correct. He does. A transgender Cuomo might adopt the pronouns she, her, and hers, while a non-binary Cuomo could identify with the plural they, them, theirs, or he could choose any combination of up to 30 different pronouns. Thank you, Duck Tater. I'm assuming that's Duck Dog. Donating $3, George Wallace voice. Moonbase now, Moonbase tomorrow, and Moonbase forever. Thank you, Duck Dog, for the $3 super chat, and C. Thomas for the extra $1 you throw it in there. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. This is a new frontier. Oh, there's here. I'm gonna click that link for the 30 different pronouns just to go through that. This is a new frontier, and there are new rules according to the pioneers breaking new ground. There's another link for me to hit. It is a best practice for campaigns at every level, from presidency to state representative to city council person. Human Rights Campaign National Press Secretary Lucas Acosta told Real Clear Politics, "Kiss my big black ass." Identifying personal pronouns is important. Okay, let me just stop right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a confession to make. I think I've already done this, but we're gonna make it clear for everyone watching, whoever watches me, and maybe even people who don't watch me, because I have my pronouns in my Twitter bio. Bet you didn't know that, did you? Well, if you follow me on Twitter, you know that. If you've ever looked at my Twitter bio, I do have my pronouns in my Twitter bio because my pronouns are I, me, and my. Because the only pronouns I have control over are the ones I use for myself. I have no right to tell somebody how to use their language. If I was in Germany and I was speaking to a German person, do I have the right to demand a German to pronounce German words differently than that person would normally speak them? Hell no. And also, let me get a couple super chats here. Thank you, Maddie, for the $3 super chat. Or Cuomo could identify as a village idiot and start looking for an start looking for an opening. Thank you, Maddie, for the $3 super chat. And Jaeger Pony with a $10 super chat on Streamlabs. Trudeau won. I won't scream in the streets like a bitch. Just donate to you. Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. I might not get to Twitter trends today because there's so much stuff. There's so much. Thank you, Jaeger Pony and Maddie. I appreciate everyone doing the Streamlabs super chat thing today. It's amazing that you will do that for me. I appreciate you so much. Me, and my. Because those are the only pronouns I use when I'm talking about myself. Okay? When someone else is talking to me, to another person, the only thing I care about is that those two people understand who they're talking about. I can't force someone to use a word when they're talking to somebody else. I have no right to demand anything. My pronouns do not define me. If those two people refer to me to she, and they understand what the hell they're talking about, that's all that matters. Okay? If they refer to me as her, and I made the bus thing before, if I'm walking out in front of a bus and someone says, hey, stop her from stepping into the street, she's going to get hit by a bus, and someone saves me, I don't think I'm going to stop and go, I'm a him. Thank you. No, I'm thinking, good, you understood what each other were talking about, and I'm not dead under a bus. Now, I get it. Some people think, and here it is. Here's what it is. Because someone was describing this, and I wish I could find this thread on Twitter. But part of the reason that I think the whole the gay marriage thing and like gay rights thing that we went through in my younger years, and it's funny because I really didn't ever care that people were gay. Maybe when I was a little kid and I didn't understand it, but then like even in high school I was in theater and there was a couple gay guys and nobody gave a shit. Okay, but the difference between, like, for example, the gay rights and the trans rights thing is when you are talking about something like gay marriage or whatever, or anything, their rights as an American don't infringe on my rights or don't infringe on me at all. If two gay people want to get married and they get married, doesn't affect me. I don't care. It's they're two people doing their thing. I'm doing my thing. Doesn't matter. I suppose the difference in some ways with trans rights, or not trans rights, just some of the things that people demand of you, is that they demand that you change your language or change. Well, I mean, obviously, changing the definition of marriage, I don't know. I suppose it changes language, but it doesn't affect my language in my interactions. But they demand you do things to accommodate them or to validate them. And I'm not here to validate anybody. I'm not here to validate my own kids. I do because they're my kids, and I love my kids. But I don't have to. P-Dog, you forget people have gotten sued for giving CPR. Don't think there's that many rational people left. I don't know. Oh my God. Anyway, let's continue in this article. It's annoying. Does this fit on this one? Oh, it does. Okay. It is a best practice for campaigns at every level, from presidency to state representative to city council person. Human Rights Campaign National Press Secretary Lucas Costa told Rear Clear Politics, identify personal pronouns is important, Acosta explained, because presentation does not always match orientation. For instance, an individual who looks like a man could identify as a woman. C. Thomas, gotta go home and pour bleach into my brain to erase this trans question. I try so hard not to be insensitive, because I work with a trans woman, and you know what? she's the most down to earth person I've ever met, and I don't care. But anyway, pronouns are important to the entire LGBTQ community. No, it's not. Really? You want to meet some gender critical feminists who are they not part of the LGBT community? Have a great day, Thomas. He said, but especially for gender, non-binary, and transgender people. You know what? Gender non-binary. That's another one that you know what? That's something that my language doesn't really have a solution for. Yes, you think your language has, by using the they them thing, but you know what? Again, it's not how I use language. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you know, they have this term AMAB and AFAB, assigned male at birth, assigned female at birth. Again, you're not assigned to anything. Okay? The doctor determines your physiological sex. I prefer using the term physiological sex rather than biological sex, because they try to throw their argument at me. Well, I am a trans woman and women are women, and so I am biologically a woman because I am a biological being. Okay, fine. Physiologically, you're a male. Scientifically, physiologically. Okay? And you may be, or physiologically, you're a female. Now, that doesn't mean I'm judging you. Doesn't mean that I'm not willing to, if you present as a female, I'm fine with that, and I will be polite, and I will be cognizant of the fact that I respect you. Okay, just like I respect the woman at work, that I will call her a woman because that's, you know, where she's going. She's transitioning to that. Okay, but it doesn't mean that the people who want to be again, it's I want to feel special. I want to be unique. It's the old, and I know people hate it when people use this analogy. The people in the progressive side of things hate this analogy, but you were the emos in high school a few years ago, and now you're all I'm non-binary. Okay, well, okay, whatever. That means that I'm trying. Anyway. The Human Rights Campaign offered this tutorial to several 2020 campaigns ahead of the televised town hall, and the candidates took it to heart. 6 of those who appeared on stage at the last Democratic debate went public with their pronouns. Like it was a fucking secret. I'm sorry. Did any of those candidates announce pronouns that you weren't already using? I guarantee you not a single one did. And this article is actually coming out and tell you what they said. And that's real cool pods. They're played straight. Mayor Pete Buttigieg uses he and him. Shocker! Nobody's ever used it. Anything else for him? The openly gay mayor of South Bend, Indiana, has included the pronouns in his Twitter bio next to a helpful guide for pronouncing his last name. Buttigieg. Okay, Buttigieg. I said it wrong the first time. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren goes by she and her. Shocker! As does Harris. Oh, really? Didn't know. Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey identifies as he and him. So did former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro. Didn't know, and billionaire political actress Tab Steyer. Didn't. Fabulous. Thanks for clearing that up. I wasn't sure. President Trump certainly goes by he and him, but a Real Clear Politics request to his campaign asking about preferred pronouns went unanswered. Well, you know what? If you get it wrong, I'll let you know. How's that sound? Yeah, how about that? Thank you, Jaeger Pony, with another $10. Holy smokes. I respect you as much as you respect me. Flip out because I caused you as I... What? Wait. Flip out because I caused you as I called it. Oh, called you as I called it. Oh, as I called it? Like I saw it. Oh, I don't care. Try asking nicely. Oh, I see. Flipping out because I called it as I saw it. I don't care. Try asking nicely. Yeah, I just, that's, yeah. Thank you so much, Jaeger Pony, for the $10 super chat via Streamlabs in the link down below. Oh boy. All of this is new to campaigning. When Barack Obama ran for president for the first time, he was asked about his stance on gay marriage, not his personal pronouns, because that's only come up in the last 5 years. It's a whole new, you know what? It's just a whole new ball game, and I'm not, you know what? There's a lot of pushback on this, and this is one of those things that there's never mind. He only supported civil unions at the time. Yeah. Remember that when Barack Obama was against gay marriage? Oh my, how times have changed. And I don't care. You know what? Fine. You know what? Here's the thing about gay marriage, okay? There's that big thing all in the 2000s about gay marriage and, whether or not it's legal here and legal there. I went to my first gay wedding in 1993. Okay? These two lesbians that I knew, the lesbian I worked with, she invited me to her wedding with her significant other, which was another woman. We went to that wedding in 1993. Wait a minute, Marty. I didn't know gay marriage was legal then. Well, you know what? It wasn't. There was no statutory gay marriage, and yet these women got married in 1993. Huh. You mean marriage is just not a government function of life? No, these two women loved each other and decided that they were going to be married. And whether or not it was a government-sanctioned marriage, did they care? No. And in fact, 3 of the 5 gay weddings I've been to were before it was legal anywhere. Huh. You mean marriage isn't just a function of government? No, people can commit to each other whether that process has a legal definition or not. And so that's why I didn't give a shit about gay marriage as an issue, because I'm like, I've been to 3 gay weddings before this ever came up. So people were committing themselves to each other as loving couples. And in fact, I know a couple that I found out about later in life, but I found out a couple that was married, a gay couple. Now they kept it secret. It's unfortunate they had to keep it secret, but in 1978, they were married. Wow. You mean you don't need the government for everything? Now, granted, they couldn't file joint taxes and all that shit, and maybe that's the benefit of having gay marriage be legal. It's great. But it's not like people haven't been committing themselves to each other since forever. Okay? So that's why that was an issue I never cared about. Okay, you want a gay marriage? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Do you live your life? I'm happy that you're happy people. Good for you. I think that's, as a conservative, that's kind of probably the right way to look at it. You know what? Good for them. Let's see. One presidential campaign veteran of that era, Barack Obama's era, a Democratic staffer speaking on the condition of anonymity, said that gay issues were often a private topic regulated to high-dollar fundraisers in New York City and Hollywood, and not out in the open on the campaign trail. But little more than a decade later, the LGBTQ community has become an even more potent political force, and its issues have become marquee. Part of that is due to shifting public opinion. Another part stems from a crowded primary field, which is fascinating that we have this much. Still, it's only about 3% of the population. But I think, you know what? I don't think people should be discriminated against because of whatever they do in their own personal lives. So good. But you know what? There's a point where you go, well, don't, as long as you're not infringing on my rights, I don't care. Okay? When you get to the point where you start saying, oh, wait a minute. If you use a wrong pronoun in New York City, you could be fined $250,000. That's where I go, hey, Mr. de Blasio and the City Council of New York City, you can fuck right off. We're going to the Supreme Court, baby. Okay? You don't have a right to determine how I say things. I will talk to people in the language they ask me to if I respect them and whatever. But to demand what I can say and not say, that's when you're infringing on my rights. Okay? Got it? but the Human Rights Campaign, that doesn't satisfy them. When more than a dozen candidates compete for the nomination, slicing and dicing, spreading out the electorate, the subset voter blocks take on more clout. Democratic candidates are so aggressively courting the gay vote, 3% of the population. Acosta said that the Iowa Pride Festival was basically a cattle call for the candidates. I don't like that terminology. Anyone who didn't show up was the odd man out this cycle. The Human Rights Campaign, I won't say HRC because then you think Hillary Rodham Clinton, so the HRC is Human Rights Campaign, has put campaigns on notice, declaring that the 2020 Democratic primary has cemented the LGBTQ vote. I know some LGBTQ people who are not Democrats, not conservative, or excuse me, not liberal. There's granted, there are probably a small portion, but I would say probably more LGBTQ voters vote on the right than black people vote on the right. I'm just saying, you'd be surprised. The 2020 Democratic primary cemented the LGBTQ vote and our pro-equality voting allies as a force to be reckoned with and a constituency to court. The organization has developed voting maps in each of the early voting states to show how many votes are up for grabs. But what might work in a progressive primary may trigger backlash in a general election where a national electorate is still coming to grips with changing social norms. No, you mean forced changing of social norms. Progressive grammar is a matter of polite manners on the coast. Elsewhere, not so much. A voter in Wisconsin, Michigan, or Pennsylvania may not even be familiar with gender identity pronouns, while businesses in Washington, D.C. and New York City could face thousands of dollars of fines if they run afoul of the new standards. Hey, good luck with that when that actually goes to a court case. I'm just saying, good luck. And if the Supreme Court doesn't strike that down, you know we're screwed. And I'm not saying that because we need to be rude to people. I'm just saying you cannot. Freedom of speech includes freedom not to speak, includes freedom to use your own language. This makes some Democrats nervous, especially the ones who thought Hillary Clinton lost the Midwest, and therefore the last general election, because she allowed voters to think she cared more about transgender bathrooms than the Rust Belt economy. She did. Let's see. This was the postmortem diagnosis of Youngstown, Ohio. This was the postmortem prognosis of Youngstown, Ohio Democrat David Betrus. It doesn't matter how much we scream and holler about jobs and the economy at the local level, our national leaders still don't get it. The chairman of the Mahoning County Democratic Party said 2 months after Inauguration Day. While Trump is talking about trade and jobs, they're still obsessing about which bathrooms people should be allowed to go into. Ohio could decide the next election, and while Betras has stepped down from his post, he still sees the same problem. It isn't that LGBTQ issues don't matter, he told Real Clear Politics. It's that Democrats aren't focusing on the electoral meat and potatoes needed to win the heartland. Holy shit. Holy shit. Jaeger Pony. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Dude. Jaeger Pony with the $100 super chat. Coffee for the rest of the year. Cheers. Holy shit. Holy, oh my God. Thank you so, that will, I certainly could get coffee for the rest of the year for that. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is one of those times where I go speechless for a minute because, that's just fucking amazing. So grateful. I can't tell you how grateful I am. That is, holy moly. Poof. You get three, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever bells. Thank you, sir. That's amazing. I'm a little choked up here. The whole election boils down to identifying what matters most to voters, said Betras, who didn't give his preferred pronouns. Shame. He also didn't discount that LGBTQ issues are important. Instead, he accused Democrats at the national level of serving up a big dish of broccoli at a moment when a megalomaniac is putting steak in the middle of a trash can lid. I don't know that. Okay, sort of. The vegetables are social issues. The steak, a promise of better jobs and a roaring economy. If Democrats don't talk almost exclusively about winning kitchen table issues, i.e., the economy and healthcare and pensions, Betras said Trump will win. Hey, they certainly are. That's what they're doing, man. When Democrats talk about gender identity pronouns, something Betras doesn't disagree with. They run the risk of conveying to Heartland voters that a new and evolving standard of progressive social justice is more important than jobs. Voters, he continued, will be insulted. I don't know what else to say. And that doesn't make me transphobic. It makes me reality-based. So true, so true. And yeah, it's, oh man, that whole, I get tired of the term virtue signaling. But it really is. I mean, it's just saying, oh, hey, I have virtue that I love the LGBT community and I'm going to pander as much as I can to it. And look, LGBTQ people are human and deserve human rights. And that I don't want to sound like I'm qualifying that because I'm not. But remember, we all have rights. We all have rights to our freedom of expression, association, religion, whatever. The First Amendment is first for a reason. And so demanding that I use language in a certain way with threat of the gun or threat of the fine or threat of the law is still unconstitutional. All right. I'm not going to do Twitter trends today because I really only have a couple other things. Let's see. Oh, here's this. Oh my God. And here's the chart of gender pronouns. My God. Okay. So he and him are there. He, him, his, himself. She, her, hers, herself, they, them. Again, and then there's what gender? Oh, there's a whole bunch of gender inclusive, gender neutral pronouns. Oh, these are just what? The how-to guide. Oh, I see. So they give you a whole guy. Let me just click this and go away. Talking about pronouns in the workplace. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that either. Um, So anyway, I have so many other articles to do too, but I got to be done for the day. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. I am gonna do Twitter trends today because we're gonna get to it as fast as we get through it as fast as we can. So let's do that. By the way, let me check my notifications here. Thank you, Tyler, Sarah, or Tyler F, Sarah, for those, and Shiograph, and everyone who tweeted out or shared the stream today, and then. Oh, speaking of which, I thought this was funny. Thank you. You just noticed this. So, I must have got blocked. Did I get blocked? Yes! Oh, she blocked me. That is freaking awesome. I'd never get blocked from replying to people. Give me a second here. I need to screenshot this. Hang on. Yay! I am blocked. So, this woman, I don't remember what the tweet was now. She put something about how her tweet was, you need women only gaming spaces, you need LGBTQ spaces, you need transgender gaming spaces exclusively, you need minority exclusive gaming spaces. So my reply was, you can invite whoever you want. It's your mom's basement. Nobody cares. It was just one of those, those, normally they put claps in them. I'm like, fuck off, girl. Whatever. Anyway, so I got blocked. I've never had that happen before. You know what? Success at being a smartass. Congratulations, P-Dog. On my own, listen to me congratulate myself. That's hilarious. You know what? Okay, so we're quickly going through the Twitter trends. Apparently, Mohamed Sanu, who plays for the Bears, has been traded to New England. Okay, yippee. 1 year with mono. What? Really? Why is this trending? In a moment now, June. Okay, that's some K-pop person who got mono. But number 3 is going to be, oh God. And here's why, when I said at the beginning of the show, Donald Trump can be a jackass sometimes. Lynching is trending number 3. Why? Because Donald Trump tweeted something stupid. And I'm just going to say it's stupid. So someday if a Democrat becomes president and the Republicans win the House, even by a tiny margin, they can impeach the president without due process or fairness or any legal rights. All Republicans must remember what they are witnessing here. A lynching. But we will win. And so everyone's just all over Trump. This is stupid that he did it. It's but then again, hey, good point. So Dean Obadiah, he's an asswipe. Anyway, despicable. Trump monks and belittles the thousands of African Americans lynched. No, he did not. You lying sack of shit. He just made a stupid analogy. He's not mocking anybody, you dumb motherfucker. Anyway, in our country by equating House Democrats following the U.S. Constitution to a lynching. Trump is truly vile. Which Satsu, 2 cents, if you know who that is, one of my buddies, says, we were just calling temporary holding facilities for migrants concentration camps. You people act just like him. Might be why you hate him so much. I mean, he's an idiot, but most of you are too. Satsu, I'm going to clarify something. Trump's not an idiot. He's a jackass, okay? Let's get it straight. Trump's a jackass. His opponents knows he's a jackass. His supporters knows he's a jackass. And he knows he's a jackass. He's the best jackass, and he's very good at being a jackass. Good for him. Oh, my God. A political lynching. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to defend the terminology because it's one of those heated words that everyone's going to get heated about. And I don't care. I don't fucking care. Tuesday thoughts we're skipping. National Nut Day. What? It's not. It's National Nut Day. I'm not clicking it. Okay, I'm going to click it. National Nut Day. Oh, well, there you go. Go Bucks. There's Ohio State Buckeye. That's a nut. Here we go again. National Nut Day. I'm just afraid. I'm afraid to scroll on this one. I'm not doing it. Because there's too much porn on Twitter, and I'm not taking a chance on National Nut Day. Okay. President Carter is trending because he's fell. The NBA is back. Ooh. Yeah, the NBA is back and people are protest. What the hell was that? Does that have to do with the NBA? Rise and shine. The NBA is back today. I don't know who that is, but damn. You know what? It's going to be interesting to see how much protesting is going to be going on in NBA games this year because of that whole Hong Kong thing. That'll be interesting. Clarence Thomas is trending. Why is he trending? Oh, remember when Clarence Thomas called accusations about his sexual misconduct? No. Accusations. Not about his sexual misconduct, but of the accusations, whatever. A high-tech lynching? The persecution complex is strong with Republicans. Oh, my God. Pot meet kettle? Whatever. It was a dumb thing to say. So everyone wants Clarence Thomas to comment on the president's use of lynching. Great. Day 6 of something. Day 6, something K-pop. No way. Sorry. Adam Newman. Oh, this dude is SoftBank. Did you hear about this? We might get into this tomorrow. This guy's getting about $1.7 billion under a deal in which SoftBank will take control of the troubled company WeWork. This guy's making out like a bandit, and I mean like literally bandit, as he's stealing something here. Bill Taylor, who is Bill Taylor? I don't know. Most critical part of Bill Taylor's testimony today. Why did he say this? I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign. Oh my God. He didn't ask for help with a political campaign. Steph Curry's trending because Michael Jordan said that Steph Curry isn't a Hall of Famer yet. Still a great player. Yeah, here he said something about him not being a Hall of Famer yet. Steph Curry will be a Hall of Famer. Who are you kidding? He's got 3 rings. He has some of the best shooting ever in the NBA. He'll be a Hall of Famer. That's silly. That's silly, Michael. Come on now. Maybe he just meant he's not officially a Hall of Famer yet, but he certainly will be a Hall of Famer. There is no doubt in my mind. Warren Hurst, who's that? Don't know. Warren Hurst needs to resign immediately. We don't need bigots like him holding public office anywhere in our country, embarrassing to the state of Tennessee. What did he say? Oh, he said something about, we've got a queer running for president. The white man has very few rights. Okay, he's an idiot. Granted, he's an idiot. Okay, good for him. Get him. If he said something stupid like that, get him out of there. I'm all for it. All right, moving on. Outer Worlds. Don't know. Kevin Plank. I'm not even skipping. Kevin Plank, the founder of Under Armour, is stepping down as CEO. I wonder why. Maybe they figured out that he was having all his stuff made in China. Who knows? NBA is back. Tuesday morning. All right, that's enough of Twitter trends. I got to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. Holy smokes, the Super Chat thing today is amazing, especially Jaeger Pony. But I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who threw a few bucks in the tip jar today. It's amazing that you guys come and listen to me each and every day, or when you can, or and even those who lurk in the background. I am so pleased that you come and see me. Hopefully I keep it entertaining enough for you and keep it moving. But that's it for today. I really do have to leave. Thank you so much for being here. My name is P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Have a great day. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comments section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.